Hey Retro fans, welcome to another episode of Retro Gaming Memories. This episode is going to be something slightly different in that I haven't done a video for, 3 weeks, something like that now. So I wanted to give a kind of little update as to what's been going on, what's happening, the future of the channel, all that kind of stuff. So this is going to be a bit of a vlog as opposed to a memory type episode or a specific episode, and that's part of what I wanted to talk about. So basically, as I say, I haven't done a video for a few weeks. Life's just been really busy, work's been really busy, there's been loads of stuff going on, and I was in a little bit of a funk, to be honest. I've spoken before about kind of gamer burnout, which is a weird kind of thing, where you can't think of anything to play, or you lose a bit of an interest in games for a while. And life's priorities just kind of took over a little bit. I joined the gym and all that kind of stuff, and started doing that more so than playing games. I kind of felt that I was stagnating. I'm very lucky to have the collection that I've got, and I'm very lucky to have the space in the games room that I've got. But I was getting to the point where I was kind of coming home from work and I was just sitting surfing YouTube looking at daft videos until it was time to go to bed. Then I was getting up, going to work and doing that all over again. And I kind of lost interest in games. I thought, right, I want to play something. And then I would look at all the games that I've got and nothing would inspire me. I thought, I can't be bothered playing any of this. And that's a really weird place to be in when you love games as much as I do. So I thought, right, there's something going on here that I need to fix, but I didn't know what it was. I don't get depressed or anything like that, so it wasn't anything like that. There was nothing going on at home. I'm really lucky that my home life's a sanctuary. If work's really tough or whatever, I know that I can come home and chill out. My wife's one of the best people on the planet. She never gives me any hassle. The house is just a kind of calm atmosphere. We work brilliantly as a team and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really happy and really lucky that home life is a sanctuary. So there was nothing kind of weird going on like that. It wasn't depression or any of that kind of stuff. I don't know what it was. It was probably like a midlife crisis or something. So I thought, right, this has got to change. I've got to do something. I can't spend the rest of my life watching crap on YouTube. And like I say, I had kind of lost my mojo a little bit for games as well, and that affected the channel because I thought there's nothing that I want to talk about. There's no memories or anything. Let me just adjust my chair. There's no memories or anything that I had kind of run out of memories essentially to share with you guys, and I didn't know what kind of way to take the channel, do gameplays or whatever. I hadn't really decided. So that's why I took a little bit of a kind of break, really. And like I say, to get myself out of this funk, I thought, right, I need to change something. Something needs to give here. So, like I say, I joined the gym. I thought, right, I'm going to get a little bit fit. I gave up fizzy drinks. And that seemed to make a big difference. I know that sounds really weird, but I've been a fizzy drinks addict since I was old enough to be able to buy my own fizzy drinks. I used to buy like a crate of 24 cans of Coke from Macros, which is a wholesaler in Edinburgh. I would buy 24 cans of Coke on a Friday night, and by Sunday morning they were all gone. And it was full fat red cans of Coke, proper stuff. And it was just getting stupid. I'd been like that for years. And I thought, I can't give up. I had given up fizzy drinks before, and I had kind of had withdrawal symptoms. It was like coming off drugs. I presume I've never done drugs, but it's like coming off drugs where you get shakes and you get sweats and all sorts of bizarre things because of the amount of caffeine and sugar that was in my system. I think that's what it was. So I had moved to the sort of zero type drinks, Pepsi Max and all that kind of stuff, and I'd been drinking that as a substitute, and that was all good. But weird things have been happening where I've got vertigo, and my vertigo was getting worse for no apparent reason. And then I read that aspartame or aspartame or whatever the hell it is, the artificial sweetener that's in fizzy drinks, has got all sorts of potential side effects, one of them being vertigo, and I thought, right, you know what, it might or it might not be, I don't know, I've been drinking this stuff for years, never really had any negative side effects, but I thought I'm going to give it up anyway, because fizzy drinks in general are just, they're no good for your system. So I thought, right, I'm going to take the plunge and do it once and for all. So I did. I gave up fizzy drinks, and I started to feel a little bit better. And I think that combined with going to the gym, and I only go to the gym twice a week. I do one session of cardio and one session of weights, but that seems to have kind of just given me a bit more energy. And when you're at the gym, you know, doing cardio stuff on a treadmill for 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever, and doing other stuff, you're just listening to music and you're away in this place. You know, there's nothing going on in your head, or at least for me anyway. You know, my head's empty at the best of times. But it's just a nice kind of isolation zone where nothing's happening. You don't have to think. You're just kind of going through the motions on the treadmill or whatever you're doing, and it just totally zones you out, and it's great. And I found that to be really, really good. So I enjoy doing the gym. It's hard work, you know. I don't enjoy the slog, but I enjoy the kind of zoning out part of it, which is really good. And I have pushed myself a couple of times, you know, where work's been really stressful, and I've thought, right, I can't really be arsed going to the gym, but I've went anyway, and I felt great after it, because it just helps settle your mind, gets rid of any kind of excess energy or stress that you had. So the gym's been really good, and that helped kind of move me on a little bit and get out of this funk. Because once I don't know, there seemed to have been a series of things going on in my head, and I don't know where all this mishmash came from, but going to the gym seemed to be the first step. That and kind of giving up fizzy drinks, that seemed to be aligned to making me physically and mentally a little bit more attuned. And I kind of basically sussed out what the problem was, that I was in this funk with the whole games thing. And so basically it turns out that I've been in my games room for, I can't remember, 7 years or something like that, and it's pretty much been the same layout for 7 years, because I've tried all sorts of things to get it laid out differently, or to maximise the space that I've got. Because like I say, I mean, I've got about 700 or 800 games. I had a lot more than that, but I purged a lot of stuff. I sold a huge lump of my collection off that was basically taking up space, and I was never playing. So I've kept it to only stuff that I had nostalgia for, or that I had when I was a kid. So so I've stripped my collection down to the bare, I was going to say the bare minimum. I've still got a lot of stuff, but the consoles and things that I really want to collect for. So I had made a little bit more space, but I've still got loads of stuff. I mean, you can see the shelves behind me, they're packed with games. And I was basically, I had tried, and I'd sat for, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. I tried various sketches and working stuff out and looking at different furniture. And I was going to strip it all out and buy stuff from IKEA. You know, everybody does that. They go and get the Kallax shelves, and away they go, and that's great. And I did really think about that for a while, because it's quite configurable and all sorts of good stuff. And it was going to cost about £400, I think, to get all the stuff that I would need. And that sat, you know, the back burner in my brain for a little while, and I thought, there's no real reason to replace all that, because all I'm doing is replacing what I've already got with new furniture. So I kind of went through all these different iterations and different motions and sketches, and also plans, you know, layouts, room layouts and all that kind of stuff. And basically I kind of came full circle back to the point that I've already got all the furniture I need. I'm just bored with how it's configured. That was basically what was causing all this kind of funk, this weird place that I was in, where I couldn't be arsed. And part of it was down to, at the moment I've got a 14-inch portable TV that I use for my computers, my Amiga and my Amstrad and all that kind of stuff. And to be honest, I basically plug in, if I'm playing any kind of retro console, I sit and I plug it into the portable telly, because that's the best picture for these consoles. I've got a nice, it's just there, I've got a nice big 43 inch, I think it is, HD telly that my PlayStation 4 now is plugged into. And I tried running retro consoles through that, and they look okay. They look alright. But they're not how I remember them. So I've got a nice big 25 inch, 25 inch? Yeah, 25 inch I think it is, CRT TV that used to be the main thing there. And I thought I really want to get that back, because for light gun games and all that kind of stuff, the big screen's brilliant. So I was kind of in this quandary. This all kind of ties back to the not having enough space thing. So I know I'm kind of going off on tangents here, but basically, so the way I've got it now, as I look at it, you're seeing behind me obviously, but right in front of me is my 27 inch iMac, and to my right hand side there is the 14 inch portable, and obviously right behind me is the big TV for the PlayStation 4. And I thought, I would really love to get the big TV, the big CRT TV in here somewhere, because the 14 inch portable is great for the computers, because if you put them on a 25 inch telly, it's kind of too big. You know, although I primarily play games on them, I don't do anything else on them, but that is kind of too big really. And the desks that I've got are not big enough to support a 25 inch TV. So I thought something's got to give here. I can't get rid of my iMac. I actually thought about putting that in a different room, but I use it all the time, so I thought, no, that's just stupid. You know, having a pure games room would be splendid, it would be amazing. But then that means I'm going to have to start taking over another room in the house, and, you know, that's not going to happen. So I thought, right, just behave yourself. You can't have everything. You know, I'm lucky enough to have what I've got. You can't have everything. We don't have the space for it. Because I've got an arcade cabinet as well, which is, you know, I could have a 25 inch telly if I didn't have an arcade cabinet. So it really is first world problems, you know, I've got too much stuff. So basically I kind of decided, right, the 25 inch TV I can keep in my wardrobe, and if I really want to bring that out and use it for light gun games or something, then I can. It doesn't fit up in my loft, ironically, or I would have just stored it up there. The 14 inch portable TV that I've got is fine for all the kind of computer stuff, and to be honest, you can play light gun games on it perfectly. It's absolutely fine. It's no problem at all. So yeah, I basically had this conversation with myself about I could put this here and shuffle things about, and I thought, right, take the 25 inch TV out of the equation, because it's too big to have in addition to a flat screen TV, and I need the flat screen TV for the PlayStation 4, PS3, the PSVR and the Xbox 360, which I like to play, so it's not even as if I could put them down in the living room or something like that. So I'm going to keep the HD TV, I'm going to keep the 14 inch portable, and I'm going to reshuffle this room about. And the great thing is I basically looked at all the furniture I've got and thought, right, it's still optimal for storage, but I'm going to shuffle it about, and I don't need to buy anything. The only thing I'm going to treat myself to is a new chair, because this chair that I've got creaks and stuff, and it's a bit past it. So I'm going to keep this, because I've got two computer desks which I'm going to separate. At the moment they're sat next to each other, and I'm going to separate them and put them in corners of the room, which will give sort of defined areas for, this is the kind of iMac bit where I've got like my music keyboard and stuff like that. So this will be my little kind of music computer-y section thing. And then in the other corner I'm going to have the 14 inch portable TV with the computers, and that'll be my retro computer console corner thing. And then I'll have the big TV for all the other bits and bobs. And the shelves are going to look slightly different. I'm going to have 3 shelves all together running around a corner. So basically where that is just now is going to be a wall of shelves, including onto that corner there. So it's going to do like an L-shaped thing. So yeah, so I'm going to reconfigure all this stuff, and I'll be doing a video when I actually do it, because I'm going to paint the room as well. That's another thing. This room hasn't been painted in, I don't know, 10 years. It's been Magnolia since we bought it. So it's time for a change. And I think that's all my funk was, is basically I had just got that used to this room and its current configuration, and it was unsettling me slightly, because I was kind of, I wanted a change, but I didn't know at the time that's what it was. So yeah, I've just got kind of that used to how this room is, that I need a change. I need to just kind of shake it up a little bit, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint the room, keep all the existing furniture, but just move it about and utilise the space and make it as kind of usable as I possibly can. And like I say, I'll be doing a video when I actually do all that change, so you know you can have a look and see what the room was like and what it ends up being like. So yeah, so that's kind of why there's been no videos, and I know that was a big long rambling thing of me talking a lot of crap about stuff you're probably not even remotely interested in, but that's what was going on. So that being said, the channel, what I'm going to start doing is, like I said, part of the reason I hadn't uploaded videos for a while is I'd kind of ran out of memories and things to talk about. You know, I had done showcases of my collections and memories of all the stuff that I've got in my collection, all the hardware that I've got in my collection. And I had done a couple of play videos and stuff like that, and people seemed to quite like that, but some people didn't like that the TV flickered and stuff. So I've since solved that. I've got a new app for recording on my phone that does it 24 frames a second, 30 frames a second, I can't remember. Anyway, I can't remember what frame rate I actually used, but I got it working that basically the flicker was absolutely minimal on a CRT, because I don't want to use emulation or anything like that to play these games. All my stuff is you know, real hardware, real gameplay. So yeah, so I've kind of got past that. So I'll be doing more gameplay videos and kind of focuses on games that are really close to, you know, my favourite games type thing, or great games for the system. So I've got a few ideas about different sort of series and things that I'm going to be doing. Something else I'm going to start doing is more videos like this, where it's a kind of vlog, just me kind of opening my mouth and letting my belly rumble, as we say, you know, just talking loads of stuff about what's been going on, games that I've been playing, systems I've been playing, watching stuff on eBay, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know how often I'll be doing those, but there'll be kind of stuff like that. So it's just me chatting to you about stuff I've been looking at on the web and all that kind of stuff, all retro related obviously. So yeah, so that was another thing I wanted to talk about as well, is ages ago I had, in one of my other videos, I had spoken about emulators and why I don't really use them. And you know, I absolutely get that they're great for people that aren't fortunate enough to have this, or I do use emulators to check out new games, potential new games, because I've got all the stuff that I kind of know in the games that I had back in the day that I wanted to kind of rebuy and replicate my collection that I had when I was a kid. Now I'm getting to the point where I need to discover new games, and I like discovering that. So what I will do is I'll download them, have a quick shot, and think, right, yep, that's a game I would like, or no, not really for me. And I've compiled some short lists of games that I would quite like to get for various systems. So I do use emulators for that, but they're not my main gaming interface. That's not how I play games. So, but I totally get that you know, some people love emulators and all that kind of stuff, and that's absolutely fine. It's whatever works best for you. So, but I had mentioned about these kind of flashback type consoles. So there's like the Atari flashback, the Sega Mega Drive flashback, I think is it called a flashback? There's the Sega Mega Drive console thing, which is essentially a flashback. And then there's like the NES and the SNES minis and all that kind of stuff. Now I had the ColecoVision and Television flashbacks, and they were quite good fun. And the reason I bought those is because when you're playing a system like that, they have very unique controllers, and that's a big thing as well why I don't use emulators to game, because it's really hard. I know you can get these third-party kind of USB controllers and stuff, but you can't get them for everything. So, you know, having the proper controller to play the game as was intended by the developers, that's what I like about the real hardware. And you can't always get all the right controllers for emulators. So these flashback systems, I had bought, like I say, the ColecoVision and Television systems. I never had when I was a kid, but I never emulated them because the controllers have essentially got like a disc of one sort or the other up the top, and then like a phone number pad on the bottom of it. So I had those systems and I played them and they were good, but because I didn't have the nostalgia for them, I ended up selling them on because they were taking up space, and they were good, you know, good fun. But I found myself kind of really intrigued by the Atari Flashback, especially I think it was only released in America, but there was an Atari Flashback 8 Gold Deluxe Edition, I think it was. And basically it came with, I think it was like 126 games. It included Activision games because they did different flavours of the Flashback. It included Activision games, it came with 2 joysticks, and it also had paddles. Normally it just comes with the joysticks, wireless joysticks, but it had paddles as well. Now I've got all this stuff, I've got an Atari 2600, I don't need a Flashback, I've got pretty much all the games I ever wanted. But I just thought, ooh, you know, it's the joy of buying a new console and having new shiny things to play with. But it was, I can't mind, 79 quid or something like that, and I thought it's utterly pointless me buying that, because A, it's not got all the games on it that I would want, and B, these aftermarket controllers they're never as good as the originals. So I've never succumbed to buying an Atari Flashback, although I was kind of close. And then there was the Genesis HD, or the Mega Drive HD thing that came out, and I thought, ooh, that would be alright. You know, get that. You could hack it and put extra ROMs on it and stuff like that, but the interface looked terrible. And I thought, again, I've got a Sega Mega Drive, why would you need that? But there's something about buying a new console that's kind of alluring, and that's what it was with these things. I was like, ooh, I just want to buy a new console. I ended up getting a multi-cart, like a, what's it called, the Everdrive for the Mega Drive, the Mega Everdrive, and to let me try out some games on the proper hardware. And the main reason I bought that was because it supports multi-BIOS for the Mega CD, so you can play multi-region games on your Mega CD. So that's, instead of buying a Mega Drive Flashback thing, I just bought a multi-cart, which was cheaper and better. But you've obviously got the SNES Mini and the NES Mini. Now, I never had a SNES or a NES back in the day. My pal had a SNES, which I quite liked, but I never really got into it. I wasn't really a Nintendo guy until it was really the GameCube and then the Wii. Those were the two things that really kind of suckered me in. So yeah, the SNES and the NES Minis, I don't know, I was intrigued by them. I thought they looked pretty cool. But the NES Mini, when that was released, obviously everybody went nuts for it, and I think it was 50 quid when it came out, and they rapidly sold out everywhere. You couldn't get one for love nor money, and guys were selling them for 130 quid and all that kind of nonsense. I was like, ah, crap, that's just stupid. So I kind of bypassed the NES Mini. That I thought, I'm no even entertaining that. And like I say, because there was no nostalgia for it, I do like some of the games on the NES. I mean, Super Mario Brothers is a classic. You know, everybody loves that. But there wasn't enough appeal for me to pick it up, especially not when it was getting up to the scalpers prices. So when the SNES Mini was announced, I thought, oh, that's quite interesting, and it looks really nice, and you get 2 control pads with it, because that was the other thing with the NES, it was only 1 controller. Why they thought that was a good idea, apart from making more money selling a second controller. So when the SNES Mini was announced, I thought, that looks pretty good, you know, nice selection of games and all that kind of stuff. Again, no nostalgia really for the SNES, but when I found out you could hack it and add your own ROMs to it, I thought, oh, now that's quite interesting. Because there's some of the games that I like the Star Wars games and the Indiana Jones games, Super Double Dragon and things like that aren't on the SNES Mini, obviously because they're third-party titles. But I thought, oh, you know, I could get that and hack it, and it's given me the kind of proper controllers and all that kind of stuff. So I was kind of intrigued by it, and I managed to pre-order one during the chaos of kind of the shortages and trying to pre-order it. I managed to pre-order one from Toys R Us before they went bust, obviously, and then when it came through that it was ready to kind of be released, I cancelled my pre-order. Now I could have bought it and sold it on for a fortune, but I'm not like that. You know, that really annoys me, that practice. So I wouldn't do that. And I thought there's no point in buying it for now. So I let it go. Because I didn't have the NES Mini, I thought, you know, I'll just let it go. But once they announced the kind of hack for it and things, like I say, I got intrigued by it. And I got some Amazon vouchers and stuff for Christmas and things, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get a SNES Mini. So I think I ultimately paid about £35 for it, because of vouchers and things like that and discounts. So I thought that's pretty good, and I got it home, and there's obviously an unboxing video in my list of stuff. And I do like it, you know. There's enough games on it, and I haven't played all of them yet. But the good thing is I had a real hankering to play Castlevania the other day there. I've no idea why, because the Castlevania series, whilst it's amazing, again, no nostalgia for it, but I just had a real urge to play it. So I think it's Super Castlevania 3 that's on the SNES Mini. So I fired that up and ended up playing it for, I don't know, about an hour and a half or something like that, and thoroughly enjoying it. You know, it's good fun. So to date, I still haven't hacked my SNES Mini, and I doubt I ever will, because the games that are on it are representative enough. You know, there's enough good games on it to play. I don't really need to hack it. Maybe if I've played through and completed all the games that's on it, then I would maybe consider hacking it. I don't know. It's an option, but you know, not something I'm going to do. But it leads me on to the NES Mini, because obviously Nintendo announced that they were going to re-release the NES Mini, probably because they're fed up of scalpers charging a fortune for it. So I don't know if it's a limited run or whatnot, but I've pre-ordered the NES Mini re-release. I don't know if it will come with 2 controllers. That would be splendid, but certainly I've pre-ordered the re-release, which is coming on the 3rd of July, I think it is. So again, I know you can hack it and you can do all sorts of stuff with it, but I'm just going to keep it as is, keep the games that are on it, because it's got, is it 30 games that's on that? I can't even remember. But I do like it. It's a nice way for me to play, you know, the kind of 8 and 16-bit Nintendo era. And I know I could put emulators on my Wii and all that kind of stuff, or classic console and stuff, but again, it's down to the controllers. So it's a nice convenient way to play it. So yeah, so that's another thing, is there's other things like the C64 Mini as well. I find myself intrigued by that, and I don't know why, because it's utterly pointless. I don't know why they you know, you have to go into the virtual keyboard to type in your load star, comma 8, whatever it is. Why did they not just hard code that as one little select thing that you could just put in? That's just daft. But I think when at the moment, to play games, you can add extra games on USB stick, but it's only one game at a time unless you do clever things. I think there's guys have managed to come around with sort of multi-disc things that you can download and all that kind of stuff. So there's workarounds for now, and they have said that they're going to do a firmware update which will allow you to basically hold a lump of stuff on your memory stick and load it straight in. So I think when that happens, then I'd be a lot more intrigued. There were rumours that they were going to do a full-size C64 as well with a working keyboard. Now that would be pretty sweet. That would be something I would potentially be interested in. Again, I know I could get a Commodore 64 and a flash cart and stuff. I don't know. I like the idea of new consoles. It's weird, but I'd be intrigued to know if any of you guys have got any of these flashback consoles or anything like that. You know, what do you think of them? Is it something you'd be interested in? Because the other thing I was thinking as well, if somebody's not got a lot of room, you know, if you want an Atari 2600 with 112 games, that takes up a lot of room. If you've got it in a little box built in, then it's a great way to play these games. Same with the other flashbacks. I just wish they had kind of proper ways to add your own games in without having to hack it. And there is systems like the Retron 77, which is coming out soon, I think. And it's pretty good, but it's not 100% compatible at the moment. and you can add your own games from microSD, but it only supports up to 20, I think it is. It'll only read 20 of them, which is apparently a sort of anti-piracy measure. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. So these systems have their downsides, but for me the NES and the SNES are kind of little side ventures that I'm quite happy to kind of have them, because it gives me enough of the classic games to play, because there's no nostalgia there. And they do have the option to hack them if I want to go down that route. I don't know that I will, but it's an option anyway. Anyway, that's enough of all that kind of nonsense. Back to the channel then, wrapping all this up. There will be more videos coming out. I haven't given up. There will be more stuff coming out. There's going to be, like I said, there's going to be more of these vlogs. There's going to be gameplay videos. There's going to be all sorts of stuff happening. And there might be shorter videos as opposed to the big long kind of 45-minute numbers that I've been doing. So there might be kind of more of them, but shorter vids, which I'm sure some of you will be happy about, you know, rather than me droning on for 3/4 of an hour. So it'll be kind of more focused, I think. And I'm going to try and think of more ways to put in sort of dynamic content rather than a camera just sitting staring at me. You know, try and think of how to make the production values on my videos a little bit better. So the look and feel might change a little bit, and that'll probably also happen once the games room's been updated. So my next major update will probably be the games room getting done. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. And anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because I've been talking too much nonsense. Thanks for watching the videos, and thanks for subscribing if you do. If you don't, please consider subscribing, share these videos, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And let me know what kind of stuff you would like to see, if anything, or do you just want me to shut up? Let me know what you think, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I shall see you soon.